first grade. In writing today, you're going to go back and you are going to add to your writing, or you're going to write another story, and then make sure that on our seesaw activity that we had for you, that you share both stories if you end up writing two stories. So we're going to be really building our stamina and really looking at writing those narratives. Remember, narratives are stories about our lives. So just thinking of that's maybe even a small moment, not your whole entire life, but maybe a special small moment that you can write about. So remember, we're going back to what is a narrative, what makes a narrative a narrative. Again, a narrative is a story, has all those story elements. They have those characters, setting, and events, a great beginning, middle, and end. We're doing all that to look at this learning target. I can write a narrative text that tells events with details. I want you to add those juicy details. So go back today and really reread your writing that you did yesterday and see if you can add some of those great juicy details. And you need to have a sense of closure. So really, how does it end? How do you feel about the event that you are sharing? Make sure that when you are writing today that you have all your great writing tools. You're going to need your this packet that we sent home. This will help you, and you can be adding to your word wall list. Then we have the checkoff list, just kind of thinking about how do you do with your writing. So when you're rereading your story, check to see, did you really think and say and then write it as you're writing? Did you stretch out those words and include all those great parts? As you're writing, did you include your sentences? Do they have a start? Did they start with uppercase letters? And then thinking about cups as well when we're writing. Did you have your punctuation? Are you putting your finger spaces in there? Are you using your word wall? And so some of those words that we are really talking about with our red words and we're adding to our list, are you using those and putting them in there correctly? We're soon going to have a no excuse list, and you're going to have to know those, read them, and write them and spell them correctly. So then today, really, did you use those great juicy words? Are you using those in your writing? Now, adding those details, more details to develop the sentence and the story. So when you're going back, this is really that rereading part. Did you get all of that as you reread to make sure it makes sense? And set your goal for today. What is your goal going to be? Are you going to really make sure that you have the great capital letters? Are you going to have that spacing? Or you make sure you get this punctuation in? As you're writing more, you're going to know what goals you are going to be best for you. So today, I am just going to show you just a little bit how I kind of plan my story. I have my packet of papers. It's all right here to help me write. So I'm just going to talk to you about my planning my story. I'm going to get 3 pieces of paper because I'm going to have my beginning, middle, and end. So this might be a good way for you to kind of plan your story and write. So then you know that you got the part of the story elements in there, that beginning, middle, and end. In the beginning, remember, that's when you get your setting. So I'm going to grab my pencil. In the beginning, that's where you get that develop the setting and the character. So I'm going to put a B up here. So I remember that this is my beginning page. And I hear all of you going, Miss Browning, write your name. So always write your name, right? Now, again, you're going to be writing for 20 minutes. You can add part of that 20 minutes is going back and working on the story that you wrote yesterday. And then you're like, oh, I'm done. You still have time. Write another story. You're never done. You can always add more to your story, add more to your sketch plan, and then you can start another piece. But we're really trying to build those great big stories. So let me finish. Today I'm going to be writing. Today is the 8th. I'm losing track of the days. All right, so I have my beginning. This is going to be my beginning page, and this is going to be my middle page. Now, remember, the middle page is where all the juicy details start really happening, and the part of the story that develops right in the middle. So, and then this is going to be my end. So now I put that in the corner, so I know I have my beginning, middle, and end. So when I plan my story, I just have them all out here, and I can touch each piece of my story. Now, this is going to be a story about, my life, something that's happened to me. So I'm going to talk about snowshoeing. So that is because the snow, I'm looking out and I see snow on the roofs of some of the houses and apartments around me. So I'm thinking of snowshoeing. So in the beginning, I'm going to talk about when and where we went snowshoeing. There wasn't a problem that happened in the story. So narratives don't always have to have a problem. This is because it's a story of my life. And so in the beginning, I'm going to talk about when my friend Amy and Lisa Knight, we went snowshoeing up in Loveland for breast cancer awareness. So that is going to be my beginning, when and where we went. Now, the middle, we woke up in the morning and it was time for us to get ready to go snowshoeing, and we couldn't find our mittens or our gloves. We were worried about if we left them at the house. So I'm going to be talking about looking for all of those and where we found them. And then in the end, I'm going to talk about how we found them, and then how we ended up having a great day. So that's my beginning, middle, and end. So that's just a quick plan. It's going to develop and change over time. So stay tuned when you come back tomorrow. See how my story has developed over time, how my sketch plan ended up helping me with my story. And then I will show you how I end up revising and editing it. And you guys are going to be writing another story tomorrow. So I'm excited to see all your great stories. Continue working. Remember, we're building our stamina, and we are really working on right here getting to this learning target. I can write narrative texts that tell you events with details and have a sense of closure. So that sense of closure, how did you feel about the event? Usually that's where a lot of authors put that. How did you feel about everything? I will see you later, first grade. Great job.